Hey everyone, this is KJ, and I am here to give you my team builder for ISL Season 3, Week 10. Playing Rick, who's a good friend of mine. Um, just to run through his team really quick, as you can see on the side of the screen, we've got the Mega Beedrill, Clefable, Rillaboom, Donphan, Gothitelle, Electivire, Lickitung, Como, Bisharp, Talonflame, and Kabutops. So a team very physical, and this isn't a team that Rick actually drafted. He did take over for somebody, and he sort of picked up from the scraps. So that's something to note. Like this team isn't necessarily a reflection on Rick as a draft player or anything like that, but still a solid team and still has a lot of threats. Before I jump in the team, want to mention that I did do a team builder prior to the game. However, I realized when editing that there was no audio, and we obviously already played the game. So I'm doing a quick team builder here just so that we have something I can show off the team, and then I can jump right into the postcom. So just kind of going in. So Victini, and this Victini was scarved with the speed to outspeed a potential Scarf Electivire, since that was his fastest mon that was not Talonflame. So this is fast mon that we could outspeed, and I figured if he's Gale Wings Talonflame, then he's going to outspeed anyway because he's going to get priority, and if he is Scarf Talonflame, then obviously I can't outspeed it. So my benchmark was just making sure I'm fast on Electivire. The second mon is one I actually named after Rick, the Dredagon, and standard Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, but I was running Iron Head as like my move that I teched on, and the plan was to glare a bunch of things and also potentially maybe catch Clefable on a switch with an Iron Head or something like that. Yeah, and just be able to, like, if we were able to, like, paraflinch things potentially, stuff like that. So that was sort of the mindset there. And the special defense here is actually to make sure that non-offensive Clef has a role to two-hit KO. Or I don't think it ever two-hit KOs, actually. I think it always lives with like a couple of percentage. So that was the plan. The next mon was the Expert Belt Torkoal. And so Expert Belt Rock Slide with the neutral attack nature actually OHKOs non-bulky Talonflame with Rock Slide. So that was pretty cool. And then Solar Beam was there for things that are going to switch in, such as the Donphan. And Lava Plume was just for stab. The other thing was Yawn, so I wanted to make sure that I could Yawn potential things that were threatening that would switch in, specifically Como, so that if it came in and tried to set up and we just yawned it, it would be pretty much ineffective. And that's actually something that was done to my Como in my TBA playoff match versus Critic. He had Yuxi, and he was able to just yawn it when it came in, and it was really annoying. So I figured, why not sort of adopt that strategy and try to do that here? So that was the thought there. Then we got the Mega Gallade, and the nice thing about the Mega Gallade is that I was able to, again, outspeed his Electivire. So this was non-Scarf, but I was able to basically say, okay, his fastest mon is Electivire, and I should be able to outspeed. So yeah, that was pretty solid. That allowed me to go Adamant, and I was just 4 attacks. Poison Jab for the Clef and for the Rillaboom. We had Psycho Cut for things like the Como. Close Combat just kind of hits anything that doesn't resist it really hard. And then Rock Tomb for the obvious Talonflame switch in. So, pretty standard. This next one was a little interesting. I didn't need speed because I outsped basically everything I needed to outspeed at plus. Everything scarved. Like, as a Scarfer, I was able to outspeed everything that I wanted to outspeed at +1. So, I went Rash Nature and Max Defense because his team was very physical. So I thought that Coco could have some more longevity if I did bring Max Defense. So, and I wanted to make sure I could hit hard enough because I wanted to make sure that Thunderbolt was hitting things really hard, and same with Dazzling Gleam, and then wanted to make sure that Brave Bird could kill the potential Rillaboom. So wanted to make sure that I had ways to hit that, like 2-hit KO that or something. So yeah. And then the last mon was Yanmega, and we basically 2-hit KO everything on the team with Air Slash Bug Buzz. And Ancient Power was to make sure that we could OHKO the Talonflame. So yeah, I will jump into the post game and get to see the team in action. Thank you for watching. I do apologize for not having the original team builder, but yeah, let's see how this goes. All right. Hey everyone, it's KJ, and I'm back with the post-com video against Rick, week 10 of season 3 of ISL. So I think I'm just going to jump right into this. He does bring the Como and the Clefable, which are 2 mons that I did find would be super hard to deal with. The Beedrill, not too worried about. The Talonflame, we have various techs for that. And this does look like Torkoal could put in a lot of work. So my thought was lead with Torkoal and potentially try to get rocks up, or just like set the sun and just kind of be annoying. So let's jump into this. So I lead Torkoal and he leads Talonflame. Expecting him to U-turn here, actually click Yawn. Just because, again, I was expecting him to U-turn into potentially the Como. And now he goes for rocks. I had no reason to switch here, especially because I have Solar Beam, and I went for Solar Beam. And this next turn, I actually get a little greedy. So on this next turn, I expect him to go back into Talonflame. And he doesn't. He actually stays in with Donphan. So I was a little surprised there. And then he actually wakes up here. So he gets a first turn wake up, or a second turn wake up, which is unfortunate, but we do get the Solar Beam off, and we do kill the Donphan, which is a little annoying to the team, but not super annoying. So here I kind of expected setup, so I just clicked Yawn again. Because sleep kind of ruins Como. And Rick obviously is getting annoyed that I'm using sleep. And then this is pretty funny. So he goes for the Moonblast, which we did calc to have be a roll to 2-hit KO, and actually glare him here. And I actually start to do to him what he's did to other people in TVA, which is use the paralysis for speed control and start getting flinches. So he does protect there, and that's fine. I go for another Iron Head, and at this point, it's literally just the plan is to just paraflinch this thing down as much as possible, which sucks, but at the same time is something that I needed to do on Dredagon to be able to 1v1 the Clefable. So we do get the 2 flinches that we need, and we do actually kill the Clefable. And here I kind of expected him to set up. I didn't expect him to actually attack there. So, especially with Coco potentially coming in the back. So Yanmega comes in, and Air Slash actually does a lot of damage to the Talonflame and speed boost. And so I wanted to scout for a potential Scarf just in case. So I do in fact protect there, and he roosts. But as anyone else that watched the video earlier knows, I do have Ancient Power, so I click Ancient Power and get rid of the Talonflame, which, again, another pretty big threat to the team, especially for things like Mega Glade. And yeah, so now kind of expecting an Aqua Jet, and I was surprised that it didn't kill, but actually he's obviously not Life Orb, so that's why. And now Tapu Koko comes out. And all of these nicknames, by the way, are memes, for the most part. It's things that people have said in one way or another. He does click Endure, or get Endure. And I was really confused that he didn't click Aqua Jet. I'm not sure why. I think he thought that Weak Armor would proc and so that he would be faster, but I don't know. And so this interaction is actually one that I do end up winning because of this paralysis. So I get the para, which for him is unfortunate, but I still would have outsped the first one because I did EV for that. And he didn't know if I would have outsped the second one, because I was Scarf. But now with the Para, we are faster than him, and we do just click Psycho Cut with the Mega Gallade. And then the last Mon is his Mega Beedrill, and going to easily take that out with a Psycho Cut as well, as you're about to see. So yeah, that is a pretty clean 3-0. I think in hindsight, the two things that I did that were a little iffy, I definitely should have on the Torkoal Donphan, I should have just clicked Solar Beam again. And then on the Coco, because he was DD and I knew he was DD, I probably should have went into Gallade, but I didn't know what he was going to do. If I went into Gallade and I clicked Psycho Cut, that would have done pretty good damage. And then I did outspeed after one DD with Coco, so you'd have had to go for another one. And if he wanted to be guaranteed faster than Scarf Coco, then he would have had to go for a third one, because after two, he still doesn't outspeed Scarf Coco if it's max speed Timid. So I don't know. It would have been interesting. I was a little surprised that he was DD and not like Clanger Souls, especially because his team was so physical. I mean, if you look at his team between Donphan, Talonflame, Kabutops, and Beedrill, like those are all pretty physical mons. So I was very surprised when he brought the Como physically as well, especially because Druddigon, it's going to be taking chip from Druddigon, and I don't know. I didn't expect it, but that is fine. We do go to 6 and 4 with a +3 differential, I believe. It's been a great season. I am recording this after some of the other matches were played, so I can say we did not make playoffs. We were like 5 or 6 differential out, which is unfortunate just because definitely could have made playoffs had I not choked away either of the 2 games that I did in the beginning of the season with the Gyarados sweep or the Garchomp sweep that happened. So specifically the Garchomp one, I think that one I was in much more control. I think the Gyarados one, I needed to switch out on the Dragon Dance and then start pushing buttons with Victini to make sure that with Scarf Victini to make sure that I threatened the Gyarados, but it's all good. I mean, it happens. I can't be mad. A lot of good coaches in this league. Only the top 7 made playoffs, and having a positive record and a positive differential in a league like this is still nothing to be ashamed of. So I'm happy to an extent. I think, again, I could have done better, and I will in the future continue to try to do better. My team is really good, and I think from that aspect, it was kind of a letdown because I didn't make playoffs. But again, had a lot of fun games against a lot of great coaches / great people. So not too mad. So yeah, I will definitely have a season recap video sometime this weekend, and after playoffs in ISL happen, we'll be moving on to ISL Season 4. It is confirmed that ISL Season 4 is going to be Galar decks, meaning that it's going to be the mons that are available in-game, but that will include the Isle of Armor DLC. So you'll have things like Azumarill and Pinsir and stuff like that. So I don't know why those 2 mons came to those are the first 2 mons that came to mind. But anyway, and then moves such as Flip Turn and Triple Axle and stuff like that will also be available. So yeah, it'll be a nice, refreshing format. Definitely different than any of the formats that we've done in the past. So I really hope to see people following along and watching, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Yeah, so thank you for sticking around for my ISL Season 3 adventure. I really appreciate it. If you are new and do like the video, like the content, please hit the subscribe button, post comments. I will respond. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, so peace.